Hey hookers, welcome back to Inspired by a Smile. My name is Christy, and today I'm going to show you how to make a top that's inspired by the one on the Kim Kardashian show. It's a backless one size inclusive top. It's really cute and fun to make. If you've got a hook and some yarn, let's get started. So we're going to start. I have my 4mm hook. That's what I use most of the time for basically every project, and I chose to use gray cotton for this. So now this starting chain is actually going to be the one you want to start with. It's the front panel of the top, and it's like just the rectangular top part that goes across your boobs basically. So you want to go from the side of, the only way to explain it is that the side of your nipple to the other side of your nipple, you want it to cover across your boobs, just to touch over your areolas, I guess, because then after you're going to add the side panels and that'll help cover as well. So we're making this first rectangle, and I'm not going to show you the entire thing. For this one specifically, I had to do a chain of 50, and I did 21 rows to cover my boobs, and that's being a C cup and the size that I am. So that's just to give you a rough idea. But basically you're just going to chain until you're covering from one side of your nipple to the other. From one side boob to the other, basically. We'll say that. That's probably better to give another way, an example. Just don't make it overly too big. Don't make it too small either. So I'm just going to give an example chain. So I grabbed my chain and I'm going to go, I did one more, and I'm going in the second from the hook, and also working in the back bumps only on the chain, and I'm going to do single crochet all the way across. Again, just go in the back bumps only, and we're going to do single crochet. So I would like to thank everyone for subscribing so far to my channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you do subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps make sure that you know when I post new videos, or if I post a teaser video of something coming up, you should see that too. I also would like to thank my patrons. If you haven't checked out Patreon already, and you do have $3 a month to spare, I have a thing where you set up to tip me as an artist, and I will send you out a free baby octopus that I've made. So you do get a little friend in the process. So again, that's $3 a month, and that's on Patreon. It's linked on my YouTube account along with all of my other social links. So you can go follow me there too for some fun. I do giveaways on Facebook and that. That's where I announce them, whether it's for YouTube or not. And I do post videos though, to make sure that you guys all see them on all the platforms. And if you ever need help, please make sure to ask. I am always available during the day. I check my videos and that regularly to make sure that there's no comments asking for help. So, and if you have any requests, just like this video, this top was requested by somebody to be made, and I'm very happy that she requested it because it was really easy and fun to make, and it's really cute. So you can request videos or tutorials, even you can request them on here just by commenting on a certain video, or you can ask me anywhere on my social media platforms. So I just did a chain and turned, and then now I'm going in the back loops only, or front, whatever you want to call them. We're switching back and forth anyway, and do a single crochet all the way across the top here, just going in the top, in the front loop of it only, just like that. Single crochet again. All right, so that row is done. So I'm going to do a chain and turn. Now for this row, you got to go in the back. We want to keep that edging nice. It gives a nice effect on the top. So you're going to go single crochet into the back this time of the stitch only. And just keep going till the end of the row. Awesome. All right, guys, so this is all I'm going to show you for those rows. Are repetitive, so you're going to really just keep going until your boobs are covered, and you want to go maybe a row over that underneath your boob so that you make sure that they are nice and covered for you. Now we're going to skip a stitch, and we're going to go right into this one, the whole stitch, not just part of it. Go right into the hole, do a slip stitch, because we want to start decreasing. And for these, this is going to be repetitive for 4 rows. So we're going to go into the back of it here and just do single crochet again all the way across to the end. And then I'll show you how I'm going to decrease at the end. But before we get there, I always forget, but I'm trying to remember, if you would like to sign, or not, if you don't want to sign up to my Patreon month to month, you can send a one-time donation to PayPal or send me an e-transfer. I just have to send you the link or email through a message somewhere. So just let me know what you'd like to do, and I will send you something out of appreciation for that too. I don't actually have anything set for that because it really depends on how much you donate. I still have to actually mail out something to my first PayPal donation. So I'll let you know what I send her probably too, just so you know and have an idea. And if you like at any time, go ahead and like my video. It actually bumps it up and keeps it in the algorithm so that people can see it and can watch it too. Not that watching it doesn't help, but liking it is like extra help. So now we're going to do that decrease. So do a slip stitch right into that whole stitch, and then just do a chain and turn here. And now you want to repeat this for 3 more rows. So you want 4 rows total like this before we do a different type of decreasing. So I skipped over a stitch here, and I'm going to go right into the stitch again and do a slip stitch. And now we're going right into the back here again with a single crochet. And like I said, we're repeating the same sequence. You just want to be decreasing now at the beginning and end of each row into the whole stitch before you go into the back and front of your stitches. Awesome job so far. All right, so I'm done those 4 rows. Now your top is going to look way more awesome than this and not so compact. So now do a chain and turn. This time you want to slip stitch. You're going to skip that little, it's not really a stitch anymore at the beginning, I find. So skip that and then do a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, the whole stitches. And then we're going to go and do single crochet into the back of it again only, if I can get my yarn through. So you're going to repeat this now Um, I did quite a few rows like this. How many here is now? Sorry, one. I did 11 rows like this. Yours may be different, but basically you're just going to keep decreasing until you're at the bottom row, which you need enough stitches to do. You should have 3 stitches, or no, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in total on your last row. So you decrease like this at the end to 2 in the right into the holes. You're going to skip or slip stitch into those last 2, and then you're going to chain and turn, and you want to slip stitch into those as well. So slip stitch, slip stitch. Because I'm almost done here, I'm actually just going to keep going to show yous. So after the 2 slip stitches again, you're going to go into the front of the stitches only. And again, you want to just keep decreasing like this until your top is done. And I had 11 rows of these rows total until I had my last row with 5 stitches. And then I'll show you what to do with that one. This is really a fun and easy top to make. I really enjoyed it. So basic, but so fun. So do a chain and turn. I ended up actually realizing here, I think this is the row I had to take out. After reading my last row and double checking everything, I realized that I had one too many rows of decreasing. So again, I had about 11 rows of those last types of decrease rows before my top was at its last row, but yours may be different just based on how big or small your top part is. They'll all come out a little bit differently, but it's still the same result. This is where I'm learning the error of my ways. Sometimes you have to go through this though first, especially when you're designing something. So I'm just actually double checking my row and everything and making sure everything's good over here. This is where I will be definitely tearing out that last row. And again, guys, your top is actually going to look like mine did when I showed you earlier. So not like this little example piece. All right, so chain and turn, and now I do have enough stitches here. I got the 5, so going right into the, sorry, no, we're not going right into the stitch, but we are going into the first one and doing a single crochet. That's what I meant to say. And you want to do a single crochet in the next stitch, and things are going to go a little bit differently here. So in the middle stitch, so you should have 5 stitches like I said on this last row. Middle stitch, you're going to do a half double crochet, and these are all in the back only again. So half double crochet, a chain, and in the same stitch do another half double crochet, and that's going to make the tip of the top. And then in the next stitch you're going to do a single crochet and then a single crochet in the last stitch. And then just go over and do a slip stitch in the next stitch. Leave a long enough tail because we're going to tie on the yarn after to do a trim around the whole top. So just leave it long enough so that you can tie that on after. So the front panel, after you're done your multiple rows and all that, will look like this. Awesome. See, this tail's long enough. I'll be adding on trim later. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to do the sleeve. Sleeve and all that is so easy too. So the sleeve, you're basically making a chain long enough from, you can measure it by just going around your, as close, like it's going to be touching your skin underneath your armpit. So you can do the chain and actually just go right around your shoulder underneath your armpit and make sure that it's touching, and that's how you know your sleeve is actually big enough. I didn't really, it's gonna be different based on all of your sizes of your arm, but that's what I based my size on for this chain. And then now I'm gonna just go into the, I grabbed my chain, did another chain, and I'm going in the second from the hook into the back only of the chain, and I am going to do a single crochet across. So again, we're doing the same thing as the top basically, but only 8 rows for the sleeve size that I did. You could make yours smaller or bigger if you'd like, but this is the same idea as we did for the starting of the top. Single crochet across in the back of the bumps only on the chain. Awesome, so there's the first row. So do a chain and turn. Go in the front here only of the chain of the stitch and do a single crochet all the way across. So don't make these too big either. I just waited, I crocheted my chain long enough until it was literally touching underneath my armpit. I touched them together and said, okay, it's good. And they fit. I made sure that everything fits. Awesome. And don't forget, guys, go like my video, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, follow me on all my social links. If you'd like to sign up to Patreon, do that too. I would really appreciate that, or a one-time donation on PayPal or e-transfer. It all helps, and I don't mind sending out appreciation gifts. I already have, and have some I have to send out too. So this is going to be the same as the other, just in the back only, and like I said, you're going to do 8 rows for the sleeve, and this is like the same as the front of the top. All right, so this is actually the side panel, and it's going to go from the basically where you started decreasing. So the 21 rows, you want to line that up with your 20 or whatever, wherever yours starts to decrease. You want to start, that's where you want yours to be. I'll show you here. See, I line mine up at the bottom of my 21 rows here, right before I start decreasing. And then it goes all the way up and sews onto the sleeve, just like that. And then comes around and you sew it together underneath the sleeve. Really easy. So it's, let's get to that. Make sure also that your pieces are both lined up, like front and back. And I'll be sewing on the front and the back, but I always start on the inside of the top first. So I'm just making sure it's all lining up properly. And I'm just going to show you, I'm folding this in half and see it lines up with the top. Also, this is my chain for the back. It has to be really, really long, guys. This is only 200 chain, and I ended up having, I have to make it bigger. I put it in the top and it went in, but to actually tie it up, I think I have to make it bigger, so that's okay. So please make sure you make that chain long enough so that after you're done threading it through, that it's actually going to tie up. That's important. So that was only a 200 chain, so just brace yourself. You're going to have to do it long enough. You don't necessarily even have to count either. Just make your chain long enough. You could just go and start chaining it and not think, and next thing you know, you'll have a chain. So for the side part, that's what I'm making right now. It's I made mine a chain of 8. I don't know if you'd have to make it much bigger. If you can make it a bit bigger if you are bigger than I am. But I wouldn't make it too much bigger because you're also tying it up in the back. So like if it's a comfort thing, maybe go up. You could make this a chain 9 or 10 instead and see if that's okay. But honestly, it should be fine. I think it's going to look great on everybody. So this is a chain 8. Grab it and then you can do another chain and then go in the back of the chain only after skipping a stitch, and you're going to do a single crochet all the way across. And I always go in the back of the bumps only. It's much more clean and neater. Again, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate everything. The comments, the likes, the views. Just everything about this is fun. So, even if, like I said, if you have any more requests, please let me know. in the comments or message me places. Wherever you can find me on social media, you can ask. I don't mind trying to make it. Most likely I can make it, so I really don't mind. Like I said, this one was requested and it's been really fun and easy to make. And I cannot wait to try it on after I fix my chain. So this first row is done. Do a chain and turn. And you're going in the front only. And do single crochet across. And like I said, this has to be long enough to meet back up. So you just have to do what I did. You can actually measure it like that. That's how I kept measuring it. I would line it up with the bottom of the top and then just kept, whenever I felt like I had enough progress, I checked to see how long it was. So it's really easy to measure this one as you go too, because you just line it right up with that bottom part of the 21 rows or however many rows you have before you started decreasing, and then just keep making sure and checking to see if it's long enough. So chain and turn. Now you're going to go in the back of the chain or back of the stitch only and do single crochet, and repeat all this until you are done and have a long enough side piece to attach to the top of the front and your sleeve. See? Nice and long. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to start showing you how to sew all this together. So I am going to flip the sleeve inside out first. You can line all your stitching together just like this. Makes it easy. You don't have to grab pins unless you absolutely want to. So I'm just going to go into the stitches here right on the edge. Go close enough together with the needle. So I'll be showing you how to sew half of the one side together, because I'm sure you saw already the one side is sewn on already. So I can show you kind of before sewing it on what it looks like and all that. Awesome, so just flip that to the right side. Now you want to make sure it's nice and not so holy. That was my main goal of this too. So just go into the top of the stitches and you can just go over and zigzag across. Pull tight enough but not too tight, because you don't want it to indent on the sleeve. It kind of looks weird. So you know if you pull too tight. And just keep going like that. I cannot wait to get this posted. I have many more ideas. I got some more tops that I need to put on here and some penises for sure. If you haven't already and need some Christmas stuff to make, that's on here too. You can go check that out, and much more. There's definitely other size inclusive tops too. So once that's done, we can move on, and we're gonna weave those in after. All right, so we're gonna start by sewing right here to the base of the top and see the, kind of show you here. We're gonna sew, we have to sew all that together. That's what it all looks like once it's together. It's really actually pretty easy and straightforward here. It's awesome. So I have my side panel. If you do need to put stitch markers or pins to hold it there, go for it. I'm just used to not using them, so. And I mean, once you get a few stitches in, it holds it in place. And I love the ribbing of the stitches. It also helps keep it as a guide so you know that you're not off either. So I am just double checking before I start sewing it in because I gotta make sure that it's in the right spot as the other one. There we go. So again, I have the top flipped over inside out first. I'm going to go on the inside of the stitches and sew as close as possible together from one side, from the front panel to the side panel. And then I'm going to flip it over after and do the exact same thing. Just like I did with the sleeve. So there's no holes or nothing. Awesome. So just keep going like that all the way up the side, guys, until you get to the top of where your chest starts. Right up that to there. All right. So that side is done. I'm flipping it over. So now I'm going to go to the, after flipping it over, I am going to sew over the front like I said with the sleeve, because I don't like all those holes either. They're not that bad if you don't want to have to go over it again, but it's better to. So I'm just going through again, zigzag and closing up those little gaps until I get to the bottom. And I'm gonna actually leave that yarn on because you have to sew you're gonna be sewing the side piece together at the bottom. You'll see what I mean. So just keep going zigzag again to close up those holes just like this, all the way to the bottom. Just through the top of the stitches, just like that. Awesome. All right, so now See, see how it's sewn together at the bottom here underneath the armpit? We're gonna have to sew it over here like that. So because I have enough yarn already, I'm gonna just go through the back of the stitches here with my needle to carry the yarn over. So I'm just at the bottom of that side panel. And again, I'm just carrying the yarn over so we can sew the side piece together. All right. So literally just fold that over. You want the front of it's going to be the outside showing right now. That's the, as you can see the ribbing. That's the inside of the top. So we'll start sewing that first. So you could put it flat. And you want to just sew again into the back of the stitches. Start at the bottom, and then you can see where you're going to put your sleeve after. See, it lines up. All lines up. That's where your sleeve will end up being. So you're going to sew all the way up on the inside first, and then on the outside again, to cover up the holes and make it more secure. So I'll show you a few stitches here, and then I am going to show you how to put the armhole on. So again, we're going to sew on the inside first and then on the outside to fill in the holes just all the way up, and then again carry it over, and then you're going to sew there too. All right. So I already sewed both sides this time, since you already know what I'm doing by now. Now see, we have a nice gaping armhole waiting for the arm piece to be put on. So make sure that you sew this on the right way too. And I will be sewing it both sides again, starting on the inside. I'm going to line up that where I sewed the arm together. I'm actually going to line that up with the armpit so that it's hidden. Awesome. I promise the blurriness will go away. My camera just gets excited when I move too much in front of it like that. There we go. So see, we're going to sew the arm right onto here. And go all the way around. But I'm going to flip it inside out, of course. So make sure that you do sew these on properly. So if you don't, you'll obviously have to take it off and put it back on. So once you establish where you want to put where you have to put your armhole or arm on to the armhole, you can line it up. Like I said, where I sewed it together, that's where I'm putting that's where the armpit is going to be. You can line that up right there. And it makes it easier. You can start right there, go into the back stitches only, start sewing that on. And then you're going to have to sew that. If you don't have it held like I do with pins or safety pins or whatever stitch markers, then just hold it like this. And again, I'm going to go in the back stitches. I'm on the inside of the top first, and then I'm going to go flip it to the right side and sew again to fill in the gaps with my zigzag sew. So just keep going, get the sleeve on. Awesome. You can flip it over after again, like I said, and sew it on the right side too. All right, guys. It's looking awesome so far. See, we got the sleeve and everything, and the side panel is on. Everything's looking good. So now there's not much left, but we have to do a trim all the way around the top, literally. So, like I said, as long as you left that long enough, you can attach your yarn at the bottom. And we're doing a simple single crochet trim all the way around for the first row. And then I'll show you how to do the second row. As soon as I get this tied on, I can show you how to start the first row. While I figure this out though, if you'd like to and haven't already, please make sure you like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, make sure you turn on notifications, follow me on all my social links if you would like to, so you have a chance at checking out what I'm up to and giveaways and more. If you'd like to check out Patreon or do the one-time donation through PayPal or e-transfer, please make sure you do too. Everything is linked and you can easily access everything, and I really do appreciate it, even if you want to just check it out and share it with your friends. Maybe they want to donate to me, you never know, and I love sending out free friends to people. So after tying it and getting your first stitch through, you're just going along the edge with a single crochet. So go close together, and you're going to do single crochet all the way along the edge of the top, even along the back. It's really nice and easy, makes it look good after. I had to do 2 rows. The second row just really did it, helped blend it in more. And this first row is more annoying because you have to make the first row of the trim. So just go take your time, work your hook into it, and go along the edge of the top and do single crochet. Like I said, we're going to start here and we're going to go all the way around. So I'm going underneath the from the front of the top to this, under the side, to the back, to the top of the top, like the top of your chest, and then all the way around again. Awesome, guys. So I made it all the way around. Now I'm going to join my, at the beginning of the row, you can join it with a slip stitch. And now you're going to do basically the exact same thing. After doing a chain, you want to do a slip stitch row. And you want to do that all the way around like you just did. It makes it look a lot better. I was going to do single crochet again, but I had to tear it out and try this, and I liked it way better. So slip stitch row, it's the last row before you sew the back, or sew the chain through the back. So I'll show you how to do that next. And again, make sure you make that chain long enough, because I thought 200 would be long enough and I had to make it longer, and now I also have to make it longer than that because it's in the top and I have to adjust it, which is okay. it's now done for you guys to make and figure it out, which shouldn't take you as long. It's really easy, and I have faith that everyone can make this in no time. It's really fun and cute. Would be adorable in any color, really. It was hard to choose a color for it. So just keep going, slip stitch all the way around like the last row. All right. So that is done. I just did a slip stitch into the beginning of the row, leaving a long enough tail so that we can sew that on the inside of the top after. So all my other ends, I already did them, so I'll just show you how to do this one. You'll have to do yours if you want them done. So I'm just going on the inside of the top, on the inside of the stitches, and I'm going to weave in until I'm satisfied with it so that it doesn't come out. So make sure you leave them long enough. The shorter ends sometimes can't be avoided. That's okay. You can still tuck them into. Some of them can be crocheted over too. So again, guys, make sure that if you want to request a tutorial, I would love to hear it. This one was requested, and I can't wait to see how many people make it, because most of my requested tutorials do really good. Awesome. So that's all tucked in. So now I'm going to show you how to start weaving in the string into the back. Her top's almost ready to wear, as long as you made your chain long enough. The idea is when you're done, you need it open enough to be able to put on right and then tighten up. So if you can't do that loosely, the chain's gonna just come out like it did to me at the bottom. So it's okay though. I already had to fix it once. It's super easy to fix. I can literally fix it while it's in the top, so I'm not too worried about it. So because you're tying it at the bottom, you want to start putting it in at the top. Now, it's fairly easy to match it up, but I have left yarn little pieces at each end of the chain, so I'll actually be able to you're just going to alternate sides. It makes it a little easier. So I'm going right, I end up putting it right over there's like a little edge that the trim made, especially with the slip stitch, so I'm putting it into a little hole that's beside it. So you don't have to go too far away from that slip stitch row. Most importantly, just make sure that you got everything lined up. You can do as many or as little zigzags as you'd like on your back as well. But you do essentially want this to go all the way down your back. So you can actually see where I had to join my chain, and I'm gonna have to do that again, but that's all right. I'm gonna be fixing it and also trimming that later. Just made it a little bit stubborn to get through that one initial hole, so I'm just gonna have to fix that. So as long as you're right through the hole properly, it'll go right through. Especially if your chain isn't fixed like mine. There is a bit of a bump because I had to sew the little ends in after. So I'm just making sure it's lining up again. Making sure I actually go through the hole properly this time. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna make sure it's just even enough so that I can actually, so I have enough chain on both sides to work it through. You can make sure it's actually even when you're done. So essentially you can line this up in front of you and then just make sure that your zigzags line up on each side. So go down a little bit and then go over to the other side. And you just pull it right through like that. And grab your chain on the other side. And you just line it up to the other side with the second one. And so on and so forth. See, they're going to line up right here. Awesome. And when you are done, you can always add little beads on the bottom of your chain. I know I might, just so you have that idea. So just keep going like that, guys. I'm gonna have to go all the way down just like that to the bottom of the top so that you can tie it together. So it's just gonna lace like that all the way down and then tie up down there. Awesome. Okay guys, I really do appreciate you guys watching, and this is amazing. It's done. Well, for now, for you. I have to fix my chain after, but this is it tied up. Like I said, you're gonna have it looser to actually put it on. So that chain needs to be big enough. So I'm just gonna zoom out. It's too much. Don't mind that. So this is the top. There's the front. It's all tied at the back, so it kind of looks a bit it's hard to show. We can't wait to get a picture of it. You'll see it at the beginning of the video then. So I'm just gonna make it a little loose here so I can show you. Thank you all again for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, make sure you subscribe, follow, go check out if you want to get on Patreon, or if you want to do a one-time donation. I appreciate it. I just appreciate you watching, really. Awesome job, guys. Look at it. Awesome. Yay. We did it.